All right, ball up in the opening bounce for the fourth quarter between Collingwood and Essendon Anzac Day Clash. Big pack there as Swan falls on top, but the umpire will get a ball up. Just open proceedings here, very quick and on the way. Ball thrown up, tapped down by Hudson, the big fella, former Adelaide player. Ball goes down, Pendlebury underneath. Nothing happening there. Picked up by Heppel, no, along the ground. Blair gets the hand pass out the back, and they're away now, Collingwood. Inside 50 on the lead. Elliott, he's got it. He got away from Bagley, and he's going to go back and take a shot.
It was a good lead from Elliott. He just got a couple of metres on Bagley there, and that's all he needed to take the mark in the hands, and he will go back and line up from about 45 out. He's on a slight angle, but it shouldn't test him. He's got a good long kick for a little fella. So let's see how he goes. Shouldn't test him. He should make the distance. It's just a question of accuracy. And he just hangs it out to the right. It looks as though it'll come back, and first blood to Collingwood here in the final quarter.
Ball back in the middle. Great shot by Elliott. Just hung it out to the right, brought it back, and he gets the opening score. Like you said, first blood to Collingwood there, Josh, as they tap it down again. Marksell grabbed down by Pendlebury. Fantastic job. See, wheels onto his left. Fine space. He's got Goldsack running hard. Oh, geez, rough tackle there by Hibberd. Pulls him down. Umpire says let it go as Goddard picks that up there. Heath Hocking now on his left boot, going to the middle of the ground. Can a mark be taken? Shaw's underneath, and he'll use his hands to do so.
Strong work by Shaw in front of Winlick. Wants to give off to O'Brien, but the umpire says come back over the mark. And Heath Shaw, he's so strong across that half-back flank region, so often mops up across that area. Takes his time, looking downfield. He'll bang it long down into Collingwood, forward 50. Looks like Goldsack, and a good reach. And he'll go back from about 60 metres out.
Great grab by Goldsack, just found his space and just height. Height was the difference there. He really made his separation, and he's managed to find himself a shot for Collingwood.
So Goldsack, Cloak waiting in the goal square, should contest here. He has got a big kick on him. Can he make the distance? He's looking long and strong. I think he's got the distance. He has. What a good kick from Goldsack. And here come the Pies.
So Goldsack, just an absolute booming kick with that one, and he never usually has a problem with distance, can generally find the mark, and you'll see here on the replay, came very, very close to a touch on the line there. It's the big fella, I think that's Gumbleton, going up to try and tap that down, but unlucky not to get a touch on that as Collingwood strike again, tapped down by the Essendon ruckman, but Pendlebury wheeling around using his basketball skills. Forward 50 for Collingwood. It's Goldsack and Hibberd. They've got their own show happening in that front pocket there. It's a war, but Essendon will win out, and they'll hand pass out of trouble here. Stanton, Heppel over the top with a high hand pass to Zaharakis. Doesn't give it back to Stanton. Stanton will go to a one-on-one. That's Cramery and Brown. Free kick, I think, for pulling the jumper there. I think Brown's got himself a free kick, and Cramery's not happy about that.
So yeah, Brown was just hung on to, and he will go back, gives off the handball. Pendlebury, he's been everywhere in this quarter already, looking for Swan, and he's got a couple of metres on his opponent, Watson. Will he pump it down long? He does. He looks for the Collingwood tall timber. And a good contest here, and well taken by Hooker, backing back. His strong contest on Cloak, and he can look to pump it back in the same direction.
Great win by Hooker. Psychological win. He's had his hands full with Cloak. That's a good mark.
And another good strong mark. That's Gumbleton. He came from 3 deep. Looks to give it away straight away. Stanton looking left, looking right. Ends up going long. Alwyn Davey, he's a little bit outsized in that contest. Can't get hold of it. Ben Reid on the wing. He looks to go up the line. And unfortunately, Swan just can't take the mark. And the ball will run out of play.
So, ball out of bounds here on the outside wing. Good contest so far. Collingwood just taking control. Definitely in charge of this quarter. But Essendon have controlled the majority of the match so far. 12 points the margin here. Essendon in the lead, 80-68. And here come the Bombers now. Hand pass over the top by Watson. They're going to go inside 50 now. Who's there? Winderlick. He can't quite get it. Sorry, that's Gumbleton. But Reid will mop up for Collingwood. Hand pass over the top to O'Brien. Look at that pace. Dreads flying in the wing. Not a good kick, though, as Zaharakis will get it. He's got Alwyn Davey. Not a good kick either. Winderlick. Hand pass off. Not a great hand pass. Bit of fumble footy going on right now. Here come the Pies, and the champ is leading the flying V. Pendlebury will have a few bounces, and he's away.
So Scott Pendlebury has a third bounce. He's becoming the most important player on the park. Looks to bomb it long. Elliott's there. He's a little bit outsized. And there's Dempsey coming through with power and good strength. Finds Watson, the skipper, backing back with courage. Well done by Watson. And he's got plenty of that as he heads out towards the wing. And a mark taken. And here come the Dons and Hibbert on the lead. And he will settle.
Hibbert, left footer. This will suit him. I mean, they've slowed the game down a little bit, but the left foot kick down the line looks like the only option. I think they're going to use it now as he does. Long, high kick, 2-on-1 to Collingwood. Hudson punches it away. Can they collect here? Charging hard in his Heppel. Won't get it. Myers pulled off the ball. No free kick. Play on. Inside 50. There goes O'Brien. Big fly. Can't quite get it. The Bombers falling the ground. Hand pass. Winderlick. Collect. Dodge. Dance. Kick. Goal! Bang! Go the Bombers. And they're back in this one. Great goal there from Winderlick and a good team goal from the Essendon Bombers.
So the goal sneak, Winderlick off his opposite boot, pumping up the fans and the Dons. Didn't they need that? Just to steady. Collingwood were coming hard, back in the middle. Quinton Lynch in there, battling with Hooker. It's Heppel running away with that trademark blonde hair. Looks to pump it long. Backing back the Collingwood player. Couldn't get a hand on a Winderlick. Can he kick his second goal in a minute? Gives it off to Stanton. Has a quick snap and he's hit the post. Unlucky from Stanton.
Very, very close shot there from Stanton. He found that space off the back of the pack and almost put Essendon even further ahead. There would have been a 24-point lead to the Dons. Stays a little bit more closer than that as Collingwood just finding a little bit of pressure now from the Dons. They've woken up a bit and they've still got that handy lead. So Russell here, oh geez, he almost committed the cardinal sin there, but he's lucky to find a talented player in Daisy Thomas who runs away and uses his pace. He's out on the left-hand wing. He's got three players around him. Stanton sharking him down. Hand pass away to Q Lynch. Q stick. Sticks it straight into the face of the young fella Seedsman. Seedsman gives it up. The Bombers. The ball hits the ground. Hand pass by Stanton. Zaharakis the Shark. Let's call him Sharkarakis. Can't quite get it. O'Brien. The Shark gets it again. Here comes Dave. Slick Dave Zaharakis inside. Punches over the line. And it's a 50-50 ball. Very nice work there by Geordie Russell. And Nathan Buckley just looks perplexed right now.
So we will have a boundary throw in. Dangerous position here for the Dons. Can they get on the board again? Lynch goes up and contests with Bell Chambers. Dwyer gets himself in front of Goddard. He might have got a free kick. Dwyer, nothing doing. And we will have another boundary throw in. And this game on a knife edge as we speak. If the Dons kick the next one, you feel they might run away with it. Collingwood need to respond. Up goes Lynch. He looks as though he's given away a silly free kick. And Eddie can't believe it, and it looks like Goddard wants to take it, although Bell Chambers, he was the man infringed, and he will go back and kick from about 50 out on an angle.
I think Eddie's got a case there, actually, Josh. You can see here, I think old mate just fell to the ground a little too easy there. Bell Chambers just milked a free kick out of Q Lynch, and he'd be pretty filthy on that, but regardless, he fooled the umpires, and he's going to get a shot on goal to try and bring Essendon further ahead here. It usually fades forward every now and then, Big Bell Chambers, plays a lot in the ruck. Let's see how he goes here on the set shot. And he's speaking of fading forward, he's faded that just to the right. So just a minor score for Essendon. And probably didn't deserve the goal there, I'd say. He earned himself a free kick on a funny little play.
So a bit of a let-off for Collingwood. Russell brings it out. He looks down the near side wing and Heath Shaw backing back with a strong mark. He wants to go. He plays on immediately, looking inboard. Although the Dons players come back and they squeeze up the Collingwood player. Again, Brown looking through the middle. Blair. And here comes Sidebottom looking downfield. It looks like Cloak in the pocket. Cloak, can he keep it in? He does. On the opposite boot. Inside to Goldsack, but he's beaten to it by Hardingham. And Essendon getting back with numbers. And they should clear here through Hocking, Hooker, Hibbert. And Heppel was in there, and Hibbert will go along with that big left boot.
The big H Brigade, all the boys back there for Essendon got that out as he goes along the line, does Hibbert, but Reid will collect after the contest, gets it away to Quinton Lynch, uses the wing. Can they steady now, Collingwood, using the hand pass game again, playing a little bit more like Essendon here. Shaw goes back inside looking for a mark, and Heppel just mops that up very nicely on the defensive 50.
He's been so important in this quarter, Heppel. He seems to be everywhere with that trademark left boot. Looks to go long, and Gumbleton, he's got himself some space and will mark on the wing. He looks to go forward straight away, plays on and kicks long into the Essendon forward line. Hill went down awkwardly. O'Brien is in there, and so is Brown. And here come Collingwood breaking away. O'Brien has recovered well, and he will kick long eventually, and he does.
O'Brien with a booming kick inside 50. Goldsack again goes up with a fly. Can't quite bring it down. Big, strong tackle in there. Big, tough pack of players. And I believe that's Ben Howlett in there with the ball. Tackled very nicely by the young fella, Sam Dwyer. And we'll get a stoppage right in the middle of the ground. 11:55 left in the fourth quarter.
Bill Chambers will contest with Hudson, looking for his captain Watson. Can't find him. Daisy Thomas out the back of the pack. Gets a quick kick forward and he will find Fasolo. Fasolo is just held up by the Essendon players who will now flood back in numbers. Looking inboard, Heath Shaw is there. Shaw also held up, goes down the line and he finds Blair. Blair also just looking for a Collingwood jumper. Lynch is leading on his own, can't find him and now has to go back. Looking for Nathan Brown, and here's Nathan Brown again. Will go across field and find Reid. Reid has a paddock of space, has a bounce. Here come Collingwood. They'll need to reload and score here and get back in the game. Reid again has another bounce, looking to pump long into the forward 50. A big pack of players flies. No one can bring it down. Watson was in there, couldn't get a hold of the footy. Hooker with athleticism, great pickup, gives out the ball. Here's Zaharakis, clears through Heppel, and Heppel will find his skipper Watson.
Watson now with the ball, and Watson like just to drop the ball there, does well to butter up, gets it out towards the outside wing in Bell Chambers, can't quite get it though, does Q Lynch, Bell Chambers, bumps Heath Shaw, and Heppel, good job there on the left boot just to get it to space. It's a one-on-one contest now. Cramery going to ground hard. Winderlich mopping up for him. He's got a bit of run now. Will he get it back to Cramery? He will. So Cramery now being chased down by Tuvey. Tuvey gets him. Gets it to Gumbleton. Gumbleton out the back. Wants it back to Winderlich. Can he find Cramery again? He's around. Great tackle by Tuvey. And Collingwood applying pressure. Pendlebury tries to clear, doesn't. Goes straight up in the air. Punched down by Russell. Pendlebury's got it. And he's wrapped up by three Dons. Davey, Winderlich and Cramery, and we'll get a stoppage inside the 50 for Essendon.
Typical Anzac Day footy, tough stuff. Who wants the footy? Players everywhere. Collingwood will break away through Blair. Bangs it on the boot, looking long. Another pack of players. The flyer was for Solo. Couldn't bring it down. Cloak. He gets hold of the footy. Bangs it on the boot. There's only two men back. Jamie Elliott is one of them. But the player getting back. Bagley manages to bring the footy away. Finds Carlisle. Carlisle looking to go back in the same direction. Gets it. Bangs on the boot. And here come the Dons.
Stanton with a fantastic mark. They'll settle down now and they'll try to use the middle of the ground. Good mark taken there, and the Dons just setting up now. They go for Davey. Davey likes to run. Davey likes to kick, and he only kicks her behind. So that would have got the crowd off their feet, and then just a minor score to bring it to a 21-point margin. 9 minutes 29 left in the Anzac Day Clash.
So it'll be Heath Shaw to bring it back in, looking to the far side. Goldsack chasing after the ball, manages to gather, comes back in on his favoured right boot, looking long to the big Q stick, takes the grab, he's about 75 out, don't tell me he could kick it from there. It's a big booming kick, but it'll just miss to the near side for a behind.
Huge kick from Quinton Lynch, just really gave that one a ride, went about 60-70 metres I think as we get back to 20-point margin here. Pretty midway through the last quarter as Heppel takes the mark here. Heppel's been good today. Plenty of touches around the ground and just been a shore-up option in defence as he goes out wide now to the commentary side of the ground. Good mark taken there by the young fella there, and Howlett. Howlett uses the inside of the ground. Got Winderlich, great mark there, hot on his heels. Was that Collingwood man there, and now Winderlich wants to go on. I reckon he'll back himself here. He's pretty fast. Should get around to his opponent, and he does. Winderlich, he's away. Going to go with a penetrating kick inside. Jumping Gumby takes the mark. Hand passes off, and they're away. Merritt. Jackson Merritt goes bang, and the Bombers are flying high now.
So what a good goal that was by the Dons. Good to see the young fella getting in on the play. Jackson Merritt kicking his first goal for the day. We're back in the middle. Hill will fly with Quinton Lynch. Watson goes after the footy. Looks as though he's held onto. He will get a free kick. And the skipper will take the ball in the middle. There's that man, Dustin Fletcher. Unable to get up for this match. You wonder how many more Anzac days he's got left in him. Watson across the ground. Here's Heppel. He's been everywhere in this quarter. Goes back in the same direction towards half-back. And this is Jake Carlisle taking his time. The Bombers just hanging on to the footy here. That's all they have to do. And the mark is taken on the outer side. And there is Darren Jolly also looking on, wishing he was out on the field, no doubt. And the Dons maintain possession on the far wing.
They go to use the middle of the ground now. Mark's taken very nicely by Hardingham. He's got on the outside. They might have to backpedal here, which they do. So Hardringham goes back, and the switch is on here. He's got Stanton out wide. He's going to use him. Here they go now. Stanton with a bit of run. Good-looking kick over the top to Heath Hocking. Hocking now with his left boot. What can he do? He needs a lead. Zaharakis is offering it. Will he go to him? He will. Zaharakis, very dangerous player. He slows it down. He's going to look to hoist it up. Leads are coming from everywhere. He's not going to use them, though. He goes central. Looks like Alwyn Davey under there. Can't bring it down, does Davey. He's dangerous like this. He's dangerous, but he won't do it. Big Hill goes to ground. Daisy Thomas on top of him. Can't get it out as Marty Clark. Falling everywhere are Dons and Pies. It goes to the ground. It's held up. Will it be holding the ball? No, stoppage right in front of the Essendon goal. We'll get a ball up right now.
There is the Collingwood skipper on screen, and it's a hot footy out in the middle. Who can take away this ball from the stoppage? It's Collingwood. Daisy Thomas gets hold of it, kicks towards the boundary. That has to be deliberate. There was no Collingwood player near it. And in fact, it has been given a free kick to Essendon in a dangerous position. Although it's a tricky shot from the boundary line. It looks as though Brent Stanton will take it. Pinned up against the boundary line. It'll take his best. Will he go for the check side? Opts for the drop punt. It's pretty close, but just missing to the near side. And through for another behind.
96 plays 69 as Heath Shaw now will look to clear the ball out here. Now they need to get something on the board because time is ticking away. 6 minutes 50 as Pendlebury makes it hard for him himself. Does hand pass inboard, but Stanton's there. He'll outrun his counterpart there, and here comes Zaharakis. He's going to go for the shot. Might have gone too far. They let him go. It's going to go just to the left. So minus score for Zaharakis, and they are peppering the goal square now.
All Essendon at this stage. Collingwood, they need a response, and can they do it through this man? Heath Shaw. He's had a fair bit of the footy today. Elects to go to himself. Plays on through the middle. Can he find a black and white jumper? Heads out to the far wing. Kicks to the big man taking the grab, Cale Hooker. And that wasn't a good result for the Pies. And the Dons will reload at half forward.
So Cale Hooker now just calling the troops in. He wants to go back in. Essendon are in complete control right now. Ball going down. A big fumbly Gumbleton. Can't take the mark. So we're going to get a boundary throw in here. Front right pocket for the Dons. Over 93,000 people here today. Just a big crowd as always. The Anzac Day Clash is something that we all flock to see. And probably the second biggest day behind that one day in September that both clubs are fighting for here. Speaking of September, this man can lead them there. Jobe Watson on his right boot. The Capitan puts it through. And the Bombers are going to run away with this one. 103 plays 69.
Ball back in the middle. Stanton, he's had a lot of the footy. Hocking that man also. A fresh air swing on this occasion. Ball taken away by Ben Howlett. He's tackled very strongly by Thomas. The ball, it's scrappy at this stage of the game. Clock winding down, and we will have another stoppage in the middle of the ground.
So those guys on the bench there just completely worn out, but be pretty happy with themselves. Watson, Hill and Dempsey there as the ball's tapped back down. Daisy Thomas tries to give out the hand pass. Collingwood going back inside. Won't go too far though. Well collected back there by the number 22 Carlisle, and he'll go out wide and find Stanton, who will settle the troops down.
So Stanton, he's got numbers on his left. He elects to go in that region. A little bit of danger, but the kick was executed well. And Hibbert in the pocket. He'll take the footy. Looking down the line with that left boot of his. And a good kick out in front of David Myers on the lead. And Myers again across that halfback region. He's been a general today. He goes down the line, long and strong, looking for the tall timberer. Big Pack. Gumbleton went up. It was Shaw at the back. Throws it on the boot, although not quite the result Collingwood wanted, and that's out on the full, and it'll be an Essendon free kick.
I tell you what, Heath Shaw knew that he butchered that one when it came off his boot. He kind of threw himself to the ground. So Collingwood just falling apart at the seams now. Zaharakis goes inboard. Back to Hibbert, and they're going to find a spot to go forward. I'll tell you what, there's nothing like a good win over the mighty Pies, especially on Anzac Day, and as you can guess that these Essendon fans will be loving it as they go inside 50 again. Davies there. Hand pass by Brown to O'Brien. Marty Clark with a soccer kick. Gets to Alwyn Davey though. It's not out of danger yet. Hand passes through. Here comes Carlisle over the top. Zaharakis again. And the Bombers are away. And they've locked this one up for a bit of icing on the cake.
So ball back in the centre. Alan Tuvey in that contest looked as though he fell a little awkwardly, maybe an ankle or a knee. He's been taken from the ground. We won't see him again today. Back in the middle, Bell Chambers battles with Hudson. Daisy Thomas in there, so's Watson. The ball scrappy in the middle. No one really getting a clean possession. Pendlebury also in there. Daisy Thomas gets back in, lays a tackle. The tackle was on Ben Howlett, and again, we'll have a ball up.
So scrappy play just to continue this fourth quarter here. Time is ticking away. Just over 4 minutes left for Collingwood. I don't feel like they're going to do it. It's a 40-point margin, 109-69, and they've just been absolutely blown away by the Bombers in this quarter as they go hard to ground here, as O'Brien now will scoop it up outside the pack. Good pressure by Zaharakis. Clark gets it out the back. Now he's got side bottom. Here they go here on the left-hand wing. Far side from the commentary position. Falls back to Dempsey. Gets it to Stanton. Stanton hand passes backwards, and they go again to the Bombers. Dempsey runs away. Cannot catch him as that fella there, Sam Dwyer. And they run. Brown out back, wins one out, and gets over the top of Carlisle, and will get a boundary throw-in. 3 minutes 34 remaining.
So Marty Clark there swarming the Irishman. He's been okay today. Would like to have got a bit more of the footy as we see the stats on screen. Watson and Stanton so often leading the way, and Zaharakis also 30 touches. There is that man Zaharakis kicking forward, and he manages to find Cramery on a lead. Cramery in the pocket, looking for a Don's jumper, needs an option. Umpire says bring it on. He does do that, has to play on over the top. Zaharakis again, throws it on the right boot, looking long. Collingwood back with the numbers, but Alwyn Davey will run through. Little Froggy goes bang and seals it for the Dons.
So great goal by A. Davey there as he puts it through. Great little crumbing goal. He does his job, just controls that bouncing ball. We all know the Aussie rules footy can be very unpredictable at times, but he's one of the few guys in the league that is a master of controlling that. As we're back in the middle of the ground, it's tapped down by Bell Chambers as the Bombers again through Goddard are going to go inside 50. It falls to ground. Over the top there was Brown. Can't quite get a hold of it. That's Reed. Goes through Brown to Shaw. Shaw's just going to bomb it on his boot. Goes out wide now, bouncing towards the boundary line. That's Dempsey and Howlett. They're going hard at it there. And Sam Dwyer, Dempsey and Dwyer. And they'll go over the line for a boundary throw-in midway or towards the end of the fourth quarter.
So young Dwyer has shown enough today to suggest he could have a future for the Pies. Hudson and Bell Chambers battling for the ball down to Pendlebury. Bangs it on the boot going forward. And a strong mark taken there by McCaffer. Back off the mark as players surge forward. Finds a loose man on the outer side. That's side bottom. Sliding in and takes the mark in front of Watson. And he will go back. He may fancy himself from here. He just takes his time, sees if he can find an option. He does find an option in his big man, the full forward, Travis Cloke, and he will go back and see if he can kick his fourth.
Travis Cloke, one of the most dangerous human beings you'll find around a goal square today. He's already kicked 3, so he's had a pretty good day. But unfortunately for Collingwood, it's not going to do the trick for him on the board. But let's see what he can do here. One of the best set shots in the league, as you'll see here on his left boot. Just bends that back straight and narrow and straight as an arrow. That is perfect from Travis Cloke. Puts through his fourth, and 115 plays 75. We are back to 40 points.
So Cloke, he's done his job today. That was his 5th shot on goal. Hasn't had too many opportunities, but he's made the most of them when they've come. The Dons, a couple of winnable games coming for them. The Giants, the Cats, the Lions, and Richmond. And you would expect that they should win at least the games against the Giants, Lions, and Richmond. The Geelong game will be a tough one. So we take a look at Collingwood's games to come. St Kilda, Fremantle, Geelong and Sydney. 3 of those at home. The game on the road against Fremantle in Perth. That'll be a tough one. So this was a big day for Collingwood. They needed a result here and they couldn't get it. And they'll be hoping to finish this game without too much more damage. Ball back in the middle. Bell Chambers and Hudson again go at it. Side bottom is there and so is Swan. Players chasing after the football. Here comes Hocking on that left boot, banging it forward. Looking for Hill, but he was shoved out of the contest by Reed.
Reed does a good job there just to butter up, and they'll go out wide now. Oh, great mark taken back there by the number 3 in Brent McCaffer. I haven't seen much of McCaffer today, but he's done a pretty good job. Just been closed out of this game in the fourth quarter. McCaffer just completely out of options. He looks up the ground and sees plenty of red and black as he'll use that line kick, falling to ground, and in front was Hibberd, just too strong. Takes the mark, and Essendon will just slow this down now to wrap this one up.
He's been a colossus today, Hibberd. No way through the half-back line this quarter as Hibberd bangs it long and strong, looking for Gumbleton. And here comes Zaharakis, gets hold of the footy. He's going for goal. Can he put it through? In fact, Shaw just getting back on the last line of defence. He takes the mark. Not sure what he's doing there. Maybe doing some stretching against the post. Shaw goes again, plays on, and he's kicked it out on the full again. And Shaw has had a quarter to forget.
Terrible kick by Shaw. He's had a couple of those where he's just rushed it, banged it on the boot, and I mean, for a professional football player, those kicks would drive a coach insane. So Essendon now are going to get another scoring shot. I mean, right now it really means nothing, but you'd want to know that you can compose yourself in these fourth quarter situations, no matter how many points you're winning or losing by. As Essendon square up, they go inside, and the big ruckman, Bell Chambers, just gets way ahead of Hudson, and he's going to go back for another shot on goal.
So possibly a little bit more icing on the cake for the Dons here. They've done the job. This should be the last kick of the game. Bell Chambers, he missed his last set shot. There is Shaw on screen, maybe just struggling with some cramp. For Bell Chambers, no, makes no mistake on this occasion. Bangs it straight through the middle. And the Dons wrap up the game in style.
So the Dons absolutely running away with this one, 121-75. Bell Chambers has been totally effective in the ruck. I mean, Jobe Watson today has been fantastic. Zaharakis has been electrifying. And Hibbert on that half-back line with Heppel and Hocking, the Triple H, I like to call them, have been absolutely fantastic. So full credit to the Bombers as they win another Anzac Day Clash. Now they are behind in the total standings. I think it sits at 11-9 now in standings of who's won what. But definitely a great win and a famous one now for the Essendon Bombers. And what could be a very big season under new coach James Hird.
Yes, indeed. Anzac Day medalist, possibly Jobe Watson on screen. He's been everywhere. Also Zaharakis, plenty of the ball, and Stanton. Ball back in the middle. Seconds ticking down. Swan with the last possession on his opposite boot on the left. He looks out wide, looking for McCaffer. McCaffer attacks the ball with Davey alongside him. It'll be a big win to the Dons. And Essendon are home. And that should set up their season from here.
Great win by the Dons. Full credit to all the boys on the ground. They absolutely stood up, and while Collingwood bursted out of the gate in the last term there with the first 2 goals, they stood up and they kicked the next 4 or 5. So congratulations to the Bombers, and they run away winners.